Hi guys, welcome to the Hot Off the Press show. Got myself and Kenny Ken here. How are you doing?
I'm all good, mate. How's everyone? Hello to your guests as well. There's been so much happening. Inadvertently to do with football. Mez Ozil's done a Q&A, which is
How's he
very
doing?
provocative. Very provocative for the football club. There's a lot of impatience because we haven't completed our transfer business. So it's hard. It's easy for us to say, wait to the end to October, but that's exactly what we've got to do because we just don't know what's going to happen. And we've got Fulham on Saturday, so it's it never rains its pools, and it just feels like the football season has just never been away. 3 months without football, and then look at this.
You all right, Jamie?
Hello,
How are you?
Jamie.
All right.
Good man. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Good man.
How's the Greenwood been with these?
I don't really know, to be honest. I'm not really that concerned, to be honest. I just hopefully it don't clash with our transfers. I don't know.
This is a Man United fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good man.
Yeah, obviously a bit disappointed with Greenwood and Foden for doing that. Looking no better.
It's really disappointing, especially with Foden because he has a kid in that.
Yeah, but you got to realise one thing, right? Is that footballers behaving like this for time. You know what I mean? It's a hard thing for. We always look at footballers and we look at the money they earn, and because they earn so much money, like money that maybe a CEO of a massive bank earns a week, we assume that with the money that they're actually going to be like responsible adults. But in reality, they're just kids. They're youngsters who just have the same sort of behaviour as normal youngsters. The girls into things like doing sneaking people behind the back of their managers. That's what young people do, and no amount of money is going to change the way they behave.
To be honest, I don't really care about the girl thing. I care more about breaking the rules of COVID-19. That's the main thing. They're kids. They're gonna
Yeah. We've got Adam on the show. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Hi. Hello, Adam.
Hello.
Have you got a camera? You got a camera there? Yeah, I can hear you.
Wait, I need to take my earphones off. Wait a sec, because.
Alright. What's the question?
Yeah, we were just talking about obviously Greenwood and breaking the rules. I wonder what your opinion is.
Oh yeah, Mason Greenwood and Phil Foden.
Yeah.
Well, obviously they are wrong. They shouldn't have done that, and it was very immature from them because they are professional athletes and they're meant to follow the guidelines. And I just think it's stupid what they did. You're not meant to do that. And they're England internationals, so I think they were right to get kicked out of the team.
I think Southgate, for me, has handled it well.
Yeah, 100%. He did.
But yeah, my honest opinion, obviously being someone who's a person, I'd be sort of more worried about it, especially in the situation that everything's starting to get worse. Last thing we need is like these role models, as you say, trying to bend the rules.
Yeah, exactly. They are role models. People look up to them, and they just did that. That's especially for me being a United fan and seeing Greenwood do that. And, he's a number 11. He's a number 11, so I just think he's wrong doing that.
If it was say like Wayne Rooney at his age,
Yeah,
I would have said a lot better. Given the age of Phil Foden and they're still kids in the end. You can not justify it, but be a bit more lenient.
Yeah, it's just I don't think they should have done that from the start. I don't know why you like a hotel, and just invite people over, to come to the hotel.
So we've got asked. Obviously, just mentioned Kenny about Arsenal's first game. What are your thoughts towards?
Well, it's going to be a massive test for Mikel Arteta because everyone's praising Arsenal, saying that he's fixed things and that there's a new identifiable way of playing. That's not exactly the case. All he's done is last season he's just put a bit of sticky tape over a wound and tried to get as best results as he can with the players that he's got. But next season, this is when Arsenal fans are going to need to see an identifiable way of playing football, and Arteta has shown that he could get results against the big boys. Now you need to see what he can do against teams that we're supposed to beat. So Fulham's going to be absolutely massive. If we're going to get in the top four, we need to have a good home record and start winning games like Fulham away. Because if Arteta doesn't get the top four, then his job may be on the line. Because we've been in transition since April 2018 when Arsene Wenger was dismissed. So for me, you can't just say, "Oh, let's give him another year." That's the disadvantages of the fact that we haven't been in the Champions League since 2017.
In my opinion, Arteta ain't getting sacked if you don't get top four. That's just unrealistic. Like maybe a couple of years ago, but now I just don't. I think Arsenal have fallen a little bit. Maybe to low expectations like Man United did. We're still like it's hard to explain because I don't know
you have sacked managers. Remember, David Moyes had a 7-year contract. He only lasted 7 months to you guys because
I think
he missed that top four. And then you got people like Van Gaal, who personally had some really good ideas, but they ran out of patience with him. The second year when you didn't get a top four, even though you won the FA Cup, you got rid of him. And then Mourinho, got rid of. So I think a lot of clubs like Arsenal and Man United are trying to chase their former glories. They want to be in the Champions League every year, and they want to be challenged for the title because
both of us should be.
Yeah, because of the demands of the fans. There are fans mean well, and they do intend, to say, yeah, we'll give him time. But in reality, when the results don't go the way you like, say Crystal Palace come at Old Trafford and beat you, you don't expect Crystal Palace to beat you at Old Trafford, but you're not going to like that because of the fact that teams should play. The same with Arsenal. Regardless of whether both clubs are on the wane, you still have high expectations because that's what you've known. You've known Man United to win Champions Leagues and Championship on, and the Arsenal I want is the Arsenal I had under George Graham and obviously early Wenger years where we were Man United's equals, and you don't want to go back to what it was being.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the good times because I'm so young.
How old are you?
I wish I could. I wish I can go back, but I can't. I can't change who I support. Love Man United, but I'm upset.
But you would have been told about them. Like I said, if your dad's got you to support Man United, he would have told you about the great teams under Sir Alex Ferguson.
None of my family support Man United, to be honest.
Only you.
Yeah.
Oh, right, fair enough.
Yeah, I just liked Man United. It was actually my cousin who actually was the only person in my family who really supports Man United, to be honest. So, not really football family.
Oh, fair enough.
Man United, what's their first game? Pardon me. What's their first game of the season, Man United? They got
this season or Crystal Palace?
I think it's Crystal Palace.
Yeah. What are your thoughts towards that game, Adam?
Yeah, it's Crystal Palace.
What's your thoughts towards that game, Adam?
Well, I think we'll definitely win it. We'll win the game. I think I'm not going to say it confidently, but I think we'll win the game. But I don't think we'll just destroy them. I think we'll beat by maybe just a 2-0 victory.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Is it Old Trafford or Selhurst Park?
I don't really know, to be honest. I didn't check.
Old Trafford, yeah. Old Trafford. It's Old Trafford.
But you're not playing this weekend because you were playing in the Europa League
Europa
semi-finals. So you're going to have a week, a few days off, isn't it? A week off.
I'm happy about that because now we've got more time to finish the Sancho transfer. Yeah, we need to get that done. We really do. We're running out of time. I still think we'll get him signed. I'm like 80% confident, but still, time's running out. There's no issues with the personal terms. He's buzzing to join Man United. It's about the fee. I think it's the first fee. What's the issue? But hopefully we can get it done. Van der Beek's one of the best midfielders in Europe, in my opinion. Especially for a bench option. He's going to be one. He's going to be you should look out for him. He's really good.
He's not going to be a bench option.
What other areas, Jamie? Can I ask a question? In terms of what other areas do you think Man United should improve on? Because you talked to a lot of attacking players, but are you happy with your defence?
No, we need a new centre back, like an up and coming, but preferably we need a left centre back. But there ain't really like a left centre back. But there ain't really any left-footed centre backs like top quality. There is Badiashile. I'm not 100% totally satisfied with him, and he's probably not coming to Man United. There's been little links, but not anything major. Left back, we're close to signing Reguilon. Not close, but you know what I'm saying. We're heavily linked to Reguilon and Alex Telles. To be honest, I think we'll sign Reguilon because I think I would prefer Alex Telles. He's proven. He's probably one of the best left backs in the world. To be honest, we're up there with Robertson and maybe he's brilliant. I'm really interested with Arsenal because I think they've got a really good manager. I think he is that's the only thing good about. Oh, I can't really speak. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Messi situation has sort of died down now. Apparently, he's come out and said that he's now staying.
Yeah.
For the whole palaver.
100% confirmed.
Yeah. What's your thoughts, Mike Kenny?
I think with the Messi situation, it's one of those things where, it's been brewing for about a long time. He fell out with Abidal. Abidal. Then he fell out the president, and then remember they had the coach that they've never been happy with any of the coaches they've had. And then I think the final straw was that 8-2 thrashing by Bayern Munich in the quarters. And I think with Barcelona, one of the things that should frustrate Messi is that they haven't replaced Iniesta, they haven't replaced Xavi, and basically the team stays stale. They've got a lot of players in that team who've been there for 10 years, haven't freshened it up. And Real Madrid, with their Galacticos, have gone away from them. And, one of the things that's got to frustrate Messi as well is that he looks over at Italy, his mate Cristiano Ronaldo, every league he's gone to, he's basically, fitted in and he surpassed his performances. So that's going to frustrate him as well. He's going to think, well, maybe I could do what Cristiano does and maybe try somewhere else. And, Cristiano just scored his 101th and 101 goals. So that's a lot that's playing in his mind. But, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, with the sort of, the release clause, that was always going to be an issue.
No one's going to pay 700 million. No chance. Not in a billion years.
But if I was Messi, I'll get a lawyer to look at that because a good lawyer would just rip that in half and say, no, wait. And I see that if there's no change, we'll be having that Seager again. You know what I mean? Because he's been 34, and he may want to try again and see if he can leave Barcelona and go to another league.
Barcelona are an absolute disgrace. What a terrible club to be at. They haven't got a future. Their team is on paper, their team's good, but they need to refresh in it big time. Real Madrid, I don't think Real Madrid are good enough. But I think La Liga's La Liga is good at this moment in time.
They're very bad.
Very bad.
But yeah, it's like you said, Barcelona have got these on paper a decent side. It's the way they play is not good enough.
They play good football. Like their style of football is good, but it's not. They haven't got the players. Like PK is getting on. He's not good enough anymore. Langley is a very good player. Not gonna lie. And Titty is. I don't like him. Titty. He's really bad in my opinion. So he's just one of them players. What they just need to get rid of. Deadwood for Barcelona standards, though. That's like.
Yeah.
I think they should get rid of him. To be honest, I think you should sign him Titty actually.
But 8-2 with those like, in my opinion, 8-2 should not matter to any sort of side. Right.
And also, alright, go on.
No, go
on. I forgot what I wanted to talk about. What did I want to talk about?
Messi.
Yeah,
Messi.
He's getting. Why does he have to stay? Why? He's done so much for the club. 15 years of probably being the best player in the world, but they're keeping him against his will. How? Like, how can you do that? I'm disgusted.
Yeah, but he's
absolutely.
What about his family as well?
Yeah,
remember, he's mentioned that his family are settled in Barcelona, and that they don't want to move as well. So it's an issue. It's something he would have taken into consideration as well. But,
you think that if you like saying that, oh yeah, he wants to leave, he wants to do this, and that, you've got to consider everything else around him. Like, it's not just going to protect him, it's protect everyone around him. And if the players like family or anything's not going to settle at where they are, then usually ends up reflecting that on the pitch. How many players have we seen have not been settled, and then had their issues on a football pitch?
Wait, Adam, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is your favourite Man United player?
Eric Cantona.
No, I mean like right now.
Present day.
Yeah, present day.
Probably say Martial because he gets the goals for us.
Yeah, Martial is a brilliant player. He's very underrated, in my opinion. He's one of the best strikers in the world, in my opinion. People are going to laugh at me for saying that, but, you know, for me, watching him day in, day out, he's one of the best strikers in the world. Every Man United fan should agree with me. Like, put respect on this guy's name. 23 goals this season, one of the best. He kind of reminds me of Bobby Firmino, but he scores goals. I've said this a lot. He reminds me of Bobby Firmino, who can score goals, he can hold up the ball. He's a very good team player, and he can score goals. 23 goals, holds the ball up brilliantly. Like, in my opinion, very underrated.
We've got Wayne on the channel. Good timing, actually. Just mentioned about Havertz signing. Wayne.
Yeah. Hi. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to start mentioning about the Havertz signing. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, it was expected, but we were waiting for the confirmed signing, and he had his medical, and it's all done. Yeah. And he seems to be happy, so it's good.
Yeah, it makes it even for the part of the season.
Yeah.
I was actually wondering, does he have to go quarantine first? Can he play straight in the side?
I mean, I think he's been training for like a week now, so I think he's okay to play on Monday.
Yeah, because the signings that Chelsea have made this summer.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
I mean, it's a real statement of intent.
And there's more to come.
More
Man
to
United
come.
and Arsenal should look up.
Yeah. They've got Mendy.
The goalie. Reigns. You got going from Rain.
Yeah.
Every player you've signed, apart from Mendy, if he signs, like, don't think he's a great goalkeeper, but it's an improvement on Kepa. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think Chelsea are going to challenge for the league title this season.
I think you need to challenge for the title. It's not like I think they need to, or it's a failure.
Yeah,
maybe not win the title, but they need to challenge at least.
Well,
loads of players.
they got virtually 2 players for a position now because I mean, like you think about all the youngsters that like Hudson Odoi, lost his cheek,
He's
Mount,
25.
but you might in terms of like Loftus Cheek, he's been
Yeah.
around a while, but he might as well be a youngster for the amount of time he's been spent injured and he's been on loan. But you look at the players they've got, a lot of the players that Frank Lampard was forced to choose, they're going to be like good players. Like if say one of his stars are injured, they can come in and do a job for him. So he's basically got 2 players for a position, Lampard. But there's a massive gap between City, Liverpool, and the rest. And can Chelsea bridge that gap?
Yeah.
They have to. I think on paper they've got the best team in the Premier League right now.
Well,
Maybe
only on paper, though. Only on paper. Remember, those players got to settle in.
Sorry if I'm looking weird in the camera. It's like my phone's really weird. So.
Don't worry about it.
No worries.
Where's Steve anyway? Is he gone?
I'm like that.
Oh,
I'm looking in the screen.
Like them out.
Yeah, but Steve, Wayne, where do you expect Chelsea to finish anyway?
I think they should finish first.
I think, obviously, I've got a big ego, so I'm expecting them to finish first. I'm expecting them to win. If we signed all those players, I want them to win. I don't want to settle for second. No, I want them to win.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Wait, actually, go on.
You make all those signings, you're going to expect to get to the top 3 like you did already. No, you want to aim for that top spot.
I still don't think they will win the title, but I think they need to. That's the thing. I think from a perspective, I still think City are favourites and Liverpool, but I think it's hard to explain because I think they should be winning the league, but I don't think they will. I think they'll come second or third, to be honest. But, anything can happen. You're more likely to win the league than us.
Yeah. Abramovich, he's set managers, because of their failure to either get the Champions League or win the league. With all the money that he spent, is second be good enough for Abramovich in terms of like Lampard's future?
Well, we have to see. Well, Abramovich, he likes silverware. He likes
that's it.
Yeah. So if we finish in the top 3, we don't win anything, then Abramovich might have second thoughts and be like he's not happy because he wants to have a FA Cup or a League Cup or reach the finals of the Champions League or winning the Premier League. That's what he wants.
I think Man City will shock some people this year. I think they'll be bad, in my opinion. Everyone's like they're going to win the league. Liverpool haven't improved. The Liverpool need to improve. They do, but I think they need to sign a couple of players like Thiago. But apart from that, I think their squad's good enough to win the league still. Maybe not. I think on paper, obviously I said Chelsea's is the best. Maybe Man City's is the best, but I think I don't think Man City will be as good as people say they will be. In my opinion, you might disagree.
Yeah.
It's only my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just got a question here. Kenny, your thoughts on the Ozil situation? He's a disgrace, officially very weak.
Well, the thing about it is that he's holding all the cards. The club, he'll be an idiot, to walk away from 70 million pounds a year. It's a contract's a contract, and he's well within his rights to meet the contract. But what he's doing is very provocative. He's basically, and I say this without any exaggeration, he's basically running a football club. You know what I mean? Yeah. And he might as well have been in charge of team selection because he ain't budging. No player would dare do a Q&A. No player would dare go and have an interview with Athletic and Ornstein whilst he's contracted to the football club. He knows that the club want to get rid of him. He knows that that he's not going to budge. So he's thinking, well, you know what? I'm going to do as I please now because they can't do nothing to me because I'm not going to budge. So, today he's named his best 11 and he's only named Santiago Cavola, which we all knew because we always knew that with Cavola, Mesut Ozil plays his best football. So that's not a shock. But why is he doing that? What does that say to his teammates or his former teammates that he's played with at Arsenal? It's very provocative. And then other stuff about, oh yeah, I'm fit for selection, I'm ready to go, and blah blah. Talking a good game. Again, I'm gonna. It's basically saying I'm gonna start training every day. I'm fit. Don't listen to anyone who says I'm not fit because they're lying, and I'm ready to play. That's provocative because it's putting pressure on the manager.
Yeah, especially when you've got a manager sitting there saying that you're not doing well enough in training. Like he's sitting there saying that you're not doing the business in terms of training to be able to be available for selection, right? And then he's coming out and saying that, well, I'm doing as much as I can. Well, clearly not, mate, because you've got the talent. You'd be picked every week.
I think the problem is that the club wanted to get in the top four on a regular, get back in the top four. We haven't done it since Mesut Ozil's had his contract. It's not just down to Mesut Ozil, but what's happening now is that without Champions League football, you don't get as many sponsors with Champions League. You don't get that much TV money because the TV money you get from Europa League is not as much as the Champions League, plus all the spin-offs and everything. So ticket prices as well. You know this thing, Steve, innit? If you play the Champions League, my season ticket's been reduced by £300. Well, because we're not in the Champions League. So again, you can charge a lot of money for a Europa League game. So again, they're thinking, well, we're not making all this money. We're giving this guy a massive contract. We know that he gives us all this money in merchandise advertising. But all these people paid for it. But on the pitch, where we really need him to get us up, it's not happening.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned about the ticket prices. Prices I've had to pay to be able to
I've just heard something.
Sorry, I was just going to say, the only reason I've been able to the last couple of years put last and see you Kenny down there as well is because I had inheritance. I had some inheritance there. Well, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to go. You couldn't afford it.
Apparently, Sancho, Man United have put a bid in for Sancho, but it was rejected. 90 million for Fabrizio Romano on The Guardian.
Probably
Plus 15 million in add-ons.
Yeah, I think they're rejecting the initial fee.
Well, muted my mic.
So greedy.
Yeah, it's Romano. I still think Romano is correct in the fact that we will get him.
When has Fabrizio Romano been wrong in the past couple of years? Has he ever been wrong?
I think it's like the only person who's going on, right? And that's not just Man United. He's been right with numerous clubs.
Stephen, what is your favourite player from Arsenal ever? Ever? Because I really want to know. For me, overall, even though I didn't get to see this player play, this player from highlights looks brilliant. It was Paul Scholes is probably my favourite player of all time. He's very underrated in my opinion. People rate him, but not like one of the best players. Great. What's yours then?
It's probably because the team, like you had players, the top players all over the pitch. But for me, I grew up watching Thierry Henry. So as a kid,
what a play!
Hero. That guy is just one moment that really summed it up for me. But yeah, one of the moments for me is I think Kenny, you probably remember this when we got knocked out by Chelsea. Got knocked out the week earlier in the week by Man United in the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Liverpool.
Yes.
It looked like it was all going to go pear-shaped, and he just took that ball and decided, I'm not having this. He remember saying that he'd never seen felt Highbury feel like the way it did, and he just went having it.
Yeah, because remember we lost to Chelsea in the Champions League that a few days before, isn't it? So
Yeah,
like, we lost the FA semi-final.
Yeah,
Yeah, we lost. So there was a week. It was basically a week from hell, isn't it? And then he
yeah,
rescued it. But you know, like when Thierry first came to the club, Thierry couldn't hit a barn door from about a yard. He struggled at first. His finishing was appalling. And then I think there was a game in his first season where he played Derby at home where he scored, where he was put in centre forward, scored 2 goals, and he's never looked back. Thierry Henry.
yeah.
And yeah, for me, I agree with you, Steve. He's the best player I've seen at the in my days as an Arsenal fan. I've seen, as you can see, tell from my age, I've seen so many, but he's definitely the best.
Yeah. Can I talk? I kind of want to talk about Everton.
Yeah,
What a
cool.
midfield! What a midfield there.
I didn't expect that sign now.
They signed
Wait,
James
it's not-
Rodriguez.
I still don't think it's a brilliant midfield. Like, I wouldn't take Rodriguez at Man United, but for Everton standards, what a midfield it is. Like, I don't know what you think, but in my opinion, I wouldn't take James Rodriguez. For them, it would be a brilliant signing. Also, Allen, probably one of the best centre mids in Serie A when he was there, but he's pushing 30 now, so I know it's only 30. People say, but he's not one of the best midfielders in the world, and he isn't in his 30s, so I won't take him. But for Everton, this is the thing: it's Everton, and they're signing top players. And Doucouré, in my opinion, I don't really like Doucouré, but most people do.
Yeah, what do Everton actually want to do this season? Because they're buying all these players, but what are they? What would be good for Everton fans? Because they're spending a lot of money. Surely they should be looking to do, try and get those top 4 Champions League, because the money they spend is obscene.
They're not getting, in my opinion, they can get top 4.
Isn't good enough.
Yeah, they're definitely.
They will get top 4. It's more like
I think the top 4.
But I think that signing with Rodriguez, I don't believe that signing would happen if Carlo Ancelotti wasn't there.
Yeah. Alan.
What Ancelotti at Everton is what players do.
Still think Ancelotti passed it, but no.
He's still able to attract players to the
Yeah, he's a good influence.
So
a brilliant job, but he's fallen off a bit since.
What do you think on it? What do you think on it, Wayne? What do you think on it?
Hello?
Hello.
Oh, yeah, can you hear me? I just tried to put my AirPods in because I thought it'd be comfortable. We talk about Everton now.
Yeah, we're talking about the Rodriguez.
Yeah, I actually, they made those good signings. So Doucouré, James Rodriguez, Allen, who's that left back from Newcastle, Jamal Lewis. And obviously they've got Richarlison, they've got Andre Gomez, they've got Digne, they've got Mason Holgate, they've got Michael Keane, they've got England's #1 goalkeeper. They should be getting into the Europa League.
Look, pick shots he wants to take.
United need to sign new players.
Yeah. What do you actually? I was going to ask you, Adam. Henderson's now obviously at Man United. What would you do in terms of your goalkeeper situation?
Oh, I personally do this. Personally, I think it's good that we brought in Henderson because he's obviously going to test De Gea. But I don't think it's good on both of the keepers' confidence, because if they make one mistake, which goalkeepers are eventually going to make mistakes, because it's a hard sport, hard position to play. They're going to make mistakes, and then Ollie's just going to swap Dean Henderson and De Gea, and it's going to be a cycle, and it's going to be very bad on their confidence, both of those. It ain't going to end well.
Yeah, I think with goalkeepers, you make a mistake, right? You are going to get punished.
Yeah, the media's on you.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the same situation we've got at Arsenal. Is we've got two good goalkeepers, and if one makes a mistake, the fans are going to be like, "No, put the other one in," right? And I do see that, and it may, yeah, it will put unnecessary pressure. But that's the whole life of a goalkeeper, in my opinion. What are your thoughts about Kenny? Who would you start for in terms of a goalkeeper?
Well, the thing about it is that it's all about goalkeepers should be able to be able to kick the ball, and I think that in terms of like if you obviously you go matches as well to see it games. Have you ever seen fans say, stop playing around in the back when Martinez is in goal, when Leon's in goal, they're all panicking about us playing from the back. So for me, you've got to go with the guy in the possession because Leno's a very good shot stopper, but he's not a number one. He's not. He doesn't command his area, whilst Martinez does. So I'll start with him.
Leno's so overrated. I rate Martinez. I really rate Martinez. I think he's a brilliant goalkeeper. I think he's really
Too
good.
old,
But
though.
he's not old. He's 28. Not really old.
Well, he's been here for about 10 years in Arsenal.
Yeah, but he joined. He joined
Leno's
when he was
the same age,
16.
isn't he?
I just don't think he's a world-class keeper.
Obviously, he's not a world-class goalkeeper. No one's saying he's a world-class goalkeeper. We're saying for Arsenal standards, he's a decent goalkeeper.
Yeah, but I think whoever.
Jamie, I'll stop you there because Arsenal have always used to always have a great record of goalkeeping. Right?
In my opinion, he's not world-class, but he's not meant to be world-class.
What I'm saying is that Martinez this season will be judged for how good of a keeper he is, whether it's just the run form or whether it's just him actually being that good. For me, I think actually that. Right, usually most of the time he's been in goal now. I've not used panic so much.
With Martinez.
Yeah.
You know what I think. You know what I think, guys. I think that eventually, whoever's in charge of Arsenal, it could be Arteta or anyone, but I think Arsenal need to look for a number one in the guise of an Alisson and Edison.
Black. Brilliant.
Yeah, you want someone who's a number one, and I don't think at the moment Arsenal's got a number one, a clear number one. Because I think if you have like the best goalkeeper in the league, that enables you to challenge for for titles. You know what I mean?
I don't think with Kepa, I don't think Chelsea have any chance of challenging for a title. I think Mendy gives us a chance, and also the thing is with De Gea, he makes lots of mistakes, but if he takes the mistakes out of his game, he's the best goalkeeper in the world again. It's the mistakes. If he stops making the mistakes, he will be one of the best keepers in the world. It's about the mistakes. He needs to get a new goalkeeping coach for first off. He's got it in him to be the best in the world again.
Leno's not the reason. The reason he's been dropped is because obviously with the injury that he's had. And for me, it's if it worked for Leno in the first place, we would have been in a relegation zone. Between him and Aubameyang, right? It pulled us out of a lot of situations.
He makes a lot of mistakes like De Gea.
He don't command his area though, Steve. And I think what's happening
is I'm not saying he doesn't. If you
look at the situation, do the best goalkeepers have to make great saves? Like the best goalkeepers in the league, they're assured. You don't get that sort of assurance with Burnt because Burnt makes a lot of great saves. Obviously, he's got a poor defence in front of him, but a lot of times Burnt is having to make these great saves because a lot of the time it's because of his poor kicking and because of his positioning as well. He's not the greatest, so he's having to do worldies. Now, Alisson and Edison don't have to do worldies because their positioning is perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. He's still got parts of his game he needs to improve on.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
But it's not like where he's making constant like mistakes that you shouldn't be making, even if you're a League One goalkeeper.
The thing is with De Gea, in my opinion, that them mistakes are so costly. I don't want him in the squad. The thing is, he's still world class when he's not making them mistakes. But because he makes so much of them mistakes, I just don't trust him. But like, it's ridiculous how much mistakes he's made since the 2018 World Cup. It's not like he's playing terribly. It's about the mistakes. If you're conceding one goal, like if your team's conceding one goal every couple of games because of your mistakes, I don't care how good you are. Most games, it's like David Luiz. He's brilliant. 2 out of 3 games, but one every 3 games, always making a mistake, will cost the team like a couple of times if they can't come back in the game. So yeah, he needs to take the mistakes out of this game. Could be a world class player like David Luiz. If he just takes the mistakes out of his game and stuff, like he was before, like I think he could be one of the best centre backs in the league. But he's just not.
Adam.
Oh, what was the question?
Yeah, I was just going to ask your thoughts on De Gea.
Well, I think David De Gea has let the media get to his head. Because before he never used to make as much mistakes as he's made since the World Cup.
100%.
I just think he's been reading into the media about, I don't know, he's like lost concentration. He has one lapse of concentration, and then he goes home and reads the media and sees that people are obviously slating him for making one mistake. I think it's just a mob mentality at Man United and how they just hate on a player when they do a mistake. And I think he's just going to keep making those mistakes unless...
he needs to get a new goalkeeper coach as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Wayne, your thoughts on Kepa?
He's so bad.
What, we're dropping him?
What,
dropping him for like Caballero?
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard people saying that he needs to go out on loan, but where?
Yeah.
But I think if we get Mendy, he would have someone challenging him with him. Like Mendy would start because he's the favourite, because he's got the height, and he's I think he's Senegal's #1 goalkeeper, and it's really strange for it's underrated to have black goalkeepers in the Premier League, because you don't see many of those. David James is the last one, but it's really good because Steve Mandanda was mainly the main black French goalkeeper that there's ever been, and we've got Onana as well, and now you've got Mendy, which is showing that it's not going to be white players that are always going to be the keeper. Anyone could be the goalkeeper. I just had to throw that out there because
wait. Mistake.
Sorry, I'm just going to move on. What are you guys' thoughts on West Ham? Are they fit for relegation?
All right then.
Yeah, his internet's gone. All right, Wayne, your thoughts on West Ham?
What?
Your thoughts on West Ham? Are they fit for relegation?
At the moment, they could be, but I have them 17th, just missing out. I sent a link if we want to do a Premier League prediction.
Right then.
Yeah, I've done mine. But then if you want to we'll discuss it and then we'll tweet it out.
Yeah. Jamie, what's your
About what?
West Ham?
I think that their squad is on paper they have a good squad. Like before the season started, if you said to me they would be fighting for relegation, you would be lying. I don't know how people they've came from challenging for top 7 to being tipped for relegation. Not even tipped for relegation, but in the relegation battle. They should never be in the relegation battle. They should always be at least 10th. At least that is the minimum objective.
It's funny. It's been to me. It's been since they left the Berlin.
Quite sad, really.
And you know, it's been.
They signed any players?
When they
I think so. Probably.
I think West Ham trying to get Tarkowski, isn't it?
Oh, he's a really good player for Burnley.
Yeah,
Very
but he don't want to go though, does he? Because he's thinking that he should be going to a top club. Let's face it, I would have thought a bigger club would have come in for Tarkowski than West Ham.
But is he a player to take them to the next level? I don't think so. I think he's a really good player for like Everton. But would he take them teams to the next level? Is the question.
You mean Tarkowski? The thing with West Ham, one of the problems West Ham have had has been their defence, and that's why they always, especially when they play at home, they've had a few like hidings at the London Stadium because they don't. Their approach plays nothing wrong with what they do. It's just defensively in their midfield was one of the problems, and that's where David Moyes is going to sort of need to address it because you can't have a situation every year they're fighting to stay in the division because their home form's just pathetic, and that's mainly because of their defence.
Yeah, in my opinion, Everton and West Ham should always be fighting for Europe. Every season they should be fighting for Europe. Maybe not getting it because they aren't European clubs like they are, especially Everton. They're a European team. At least they're trying to get to the next level. With West Ham and Everton, they always find really good players, then they always disappoint, especially West Ham. They always do it. Last season, they signed Haller, one of the best strikers in the Bundesliga. They also signed, what's his name? I actually forgot his name. Fornals. He was a really good player. The other player, what's his name?
Well, they the season before that they had Anderson in it from Lazio, record signing 42 million. Season before
Felipe Anderson. If you look at the team on paper, goalkeeper, Fabianski, brilliant goalkeeper in my opinion. The defense is the issue. Their midfield isn't great, but they've got Declan Rice. Declan Rice is an absolute baller. What a player Declan Rice is. He's so underrated.
Yeah.
What a signing for Chelsea.
Well, Wayne wants him at
60
Chelsea,
million.
You know how some clubs play better with the fans. We always found now Arsenal were always better at Highbury, right? Because of the atmosphere, the fans that we had there, right? You had the fans on top of you being that top man, and I think that's the same that's been with West Ham ever since they've left the Berlin ground. They've been able to generate the atmosphere that you get that makes it such a difficult game, like to Crystal Palace, like to go to Burnley. You always have that fan base that makes it so difficult.
Newcastle are kind of doing a little bit of business as well, if you think about it. Callum Wilson, Ryan Fraser, maybe not great players, but they're better than what they've got. Joe Linton is one of the worst strikers I've ever seen, ever in the history of Premier League football, especially for £40 million.
Got the money, right? Right, especially when you put loads of people on Friday. I thought you had the money. I thought you didn't have money.
Who's that?
Mike Ashley.
He's got money. Oh, the transfer budgets. Every club's got money. Every club's got money.
They put
money's there.
Yeah.
Fraser came on a free.
Very good player. No, he's not actually. What am I saying? He's not a great player. He's just a good player.
a question here, Marcus. Who do Spurs need? Help.
They need a new striker.
Bale.
Help.
Yeah.
Backup striker. Danny Ings.
I
What do you
think they should get Bale back.
They
No,
need good fullbacks. They need good fullbacks.
Mm.
They need like the fullbacks that Liverpool have.
Well, they bought Doherty from Wolves. They probably need strength.
Yeah.
They need strength at left back.
Maybe the left back. Yeah.
I'm just going to get straight.
I was impressed with Højbjerg. I was impressed with the
What's that?
Højbjerg signing. I was impressed with that. That was a good bit of business from Tottenham. But Kenny, what honest opinion, like, given the fact we're Arsenal fans, what would Spurs need?
I think what Spurs need is that they need to sort of get that balance right in midfield, and they need to sort of get some another defender, because remember Vertonghen's gone as well, and they basically what they need to do on the field as well, get the best out of Ali, because he's gone off the boil for the last couple of seasons, and they need to go back to what they were good at, Tottenham, like under Pochettino. What they used to do is to press teams from start to finish, and that's how they managed to dominate games and get into those sort of games. If they start doing those things again, and like improve at left back, try and improve a bit in midfield, they'll be good to go again. Because I mean they've got a good manager. But one thing Mourinho needs to do: stop being stubborn, play modern football. If he goes back to Mourinho's football, is done now. It's done out of here.
Yeah.
Try and take a leaf out what Klopp's doing at Man City, doing at Liverpool.
Well,
take a leaf what Guardiola's doing. Play modern football. What's that?
Arteta's doing it better than Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, but Mourinho still managed to get good results with Spurs towards the end.
Yeah.
I think I think Spurs are going to improve. If they can keep Harry Kane fit fully and keep Son fit as well, I think they're going to be still strong. But there's other areas they want to challenge for the Champions. You challenge to get back in the Champions League, and like I said, actually win a trophy. They need to improve the midfield and start doing what they were good at under Pochettino. Because they got even though they didn't win any trophies, they got very close to winning trophies.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they should be. Could be looking at trying to improve tactically, because obviously Mourinho, I think his tactics are. It's like Wenger. It goes stale. Right, everyone works out how you do it. Right, and it's the same with Mourinho.
But if Mourinho wins a trophy at Tottenham, he'll be a hero. What they really want is that 12 years without a trophy isn't good for a team like of any kind, especially a team like Tottenham. They've got close a few times, but they have to get that trophy, mate. Really and truly, that's what
they need to win the Premiership.
So I think that's best. They could win it. You can never say never, because what happened with Leicester, isn't it?
They were third place that year.
Yeah,
they were close.
Yeah, so they've got to be close, but they've kind of got away now.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, and what the thing is that Spurs need is not just a couple of signings; is actually look at their squad in depth, because their squad's getting on now. I feel it's not the same like squad. That's going to keep going for another couple of seasons. It's been there for a while now.
Yeah, it's a bit stale. They need some creativity as well. Remember, they lost Ericsson as well, and he was like their creative hub. So they need to find a player and fast, because when teams like put men behind the ball, you need players like Ericsson, De Bruyne, those sort of players who can unlock the door.
Open the defence. Like Fernandes.
A good team back in the day during the 70s.
Well, that's a good question. Good question. I'll answer you. In the 70s, like first after 70, Spurs were one of the top sides in England, and then after Bill Nicholson left, between 74 and 76, them and Arsenal were flirting with relegation, and Spurs actually got relegated in '78. So the last bit of the '70s, Spurs, were on the sort of on the wane, but they got players like Ardiles and Villa, and then for the first, a lot of the '80s up until probably about 1988, Spurs started challenging again for trophies. Like they won the FA Cup, they won the UEFA Cup. So Spurs were a very good, attractive side who played good football, and they had the trophies like the FA Cup of match. However, in the '90s, like they kind of struggled because they won the FA Cup in '91, and they won another trophy in '99. But they're very much in Arsenal's shadow in the '90s, Tottenham. So, so if you want to ask a Spurs fan what was their best era, I'd say the late, '60s and the early up until the early '70s. But '80s not too bad. '90s did dreadful.
Just going to quickly mention this week, last week of this fundraising page to help raise money for Children's Liver Disease Foundation. We're currently gone over £500, and anything that you can spare, please go to this page and donate. And but I mean, Spurs, like I said, then they've got to be wary about the squad they've got, because like everyone keeps saying about how Aubameyang's getting on, right, and this, that, and all the other, especially when we've been talking about his new contract. Well, so Kane, right? Son's now going to start getting on, right? Vertonghen, Alderweireld. That team's not young anymore.
I think Spurs are a big club by name, but not a big club by trophies.
Sadly, sad, but it's true anyway. Yeah, you're right. I'm not sad about that, by the way.
Like I said, I'd probably say the other thing they need is probably the Mr. Sheen for their trophy cabinet.
The thing that must be frustrating for Spurs fans is that there's a period from about 2015, the end of 2015 up until about 2019, where Spurs should have been winning trophies because they had a superb side, a really good team, and they really winning big games. But when it came to the nitty gritty, they struggled.
Yeah.
Wait, can I talk about how their expectations at the start of the season to now?
Yeah.
Because at the start of this season, everyone was tipping them to be the challengers to Man City and Liverpool. They had one of their best transfer windows in a long time, signing Ndombele, who's the other Chelsea. Ndombele, what a flop he's been. One of the worst players I've seen in a long time for them, especially for the price they paid. He hasn't had a look in since Jose's came in. Everyone thought they were going to get third, sixth. Awful season for them. I think with Mourinho, they don't get anything better than fourth. They need to start challenging for fourth. No, for first. Sorry about that. They need to challenge for first. That is their since 2000. Since Pochettino came in, they were they were one of them teams were like they can challenge every season, but they just it's quite sad really. The drop. Well, it's not sad for you lot, but,
Sorry, well, it's not sad for a Chelsea fan and an Arsenal fan.
It's not sad. It's not sad. Every time I say it's sad. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. That wasn't how I said.
That's all right. It's all right.
Yeah. Sure.
You never say never. They could challenge for a title.
I'm
no
not
chance.
ruling that out. I'm not ruling that out, Adam. After Leicester, I'm not ruling that out.
That is a thing. What can only happen once in a century. How did that happen? They were tipped for relegation, and then they just.
I was actually could be the new Leicester.
We bottled it.
Yeah.
They also bottled it.
That was it. That was ours, right? And we bottled it.
Yeah.
You beat them 5-2.
You only came second because the others were so bad and Tottenham bottled it at the end.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But, I would actually go around and ask, because what winds me up is that everyone keeps saying like Pepe's been such a flop last season.
He has for the price.
Yeah, but comparing to Ndombele,
Yeah, he's been terrible. I'm not even saying anything about Ndombele. He's one of the biggest flops I've seen in a long time. Pepe, though, he's a really good player. I think next season we're going to see the full
Got
Pepe.
potential.
Yeah, he's got really good potential. I still think you overpaid for him. I think he's worth more, about 50 million. But he'll come good in the future.
Hey,
but right now,
Anglia, you're
We
going to be
overpaid for Maguire.
You're going to be overpaying for Sancho in about a few weeks time.
But Sancho is a talent what you don't see very often. Pepe,
is he £100 million talent though? Is he £100 million talent?
Yes, 100 billion%. He's not worth 100. He's worth 200 billion. You don't get these kids every day. He's a generational talent. I don't. If anyone says that he's not and it's not worth it, you're just brain dead. I know. No, I'm joking. You're not. It's your opinion. It's your opinion, but like, yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm so embarrassing.
No, it's a debate.
Yeah, I know. Everyone has different opinions at the end of the day.
I mean, United could win the league.
We can. We've got more chance than Arsenal and Spurs and everyone else. We're the fourth best team in England right now. Apart from, we need to sign Sancho if we want to. If we sign a left back, if we sign Tellers or Reguilon, sign Sancho. We've already got Van der Beek in the left. I think we need 4 signings: a left back, a cam. We've already got a right winger, and a left centre back to challenge for the title. And
You know what Man United's problem is, and it's the same that Arsenal's problem is. It's going to be under Arteta.
What?
When you play the big games, right, you lift yourself, right, and you still think you're in that company. But it's when teams like come to Old Trafford, like, and put men behind the ball. That's where the doubts come in, especially when you can't break them down, and they come away with a point or they fluke a win. The doubts come into Man United's minds, and I think Man United need to start doing what they did under Fergie and just swatting these teams home and away.
We've done better with these. Like we have I think 3 games out of 24. Brilliant since Bruno's came in. He has been the difference. He's kind of like Eric Cantona. Maybe not the same player. Maybe not even half the player he is. But he's just made the same effect as Cantona. Maybe not as a bigger scale because with Cantona they won the league. Next, I think they were still challenging. The thing is,
you need a left back. You need to either get Luke Shaw fit and get a left back because like the modern football nowadays is like your greatest creators are not so much people like Bruno Fernandes. It's people like it's basically your fullbacks going to be the ones who are going to win your games nowadays.
Yeah. Would you disagree about us having the best midfield in the league?
Potentially, yeah, you have.
We have because one of the best midfielders in the world. Bruno, world class, in my opinion. Since the thing is, if he was world class in Portugal but didn't prove it over here, I'll get the he hasn't proved it in the proper league. He carried the form from the Portuguese league to the Premier League. He hasn't had,
definitely.
Even if he's played bad, he still gets an assist or a goal. He hasn't had a run of form where he hasn't scored or assisted. And I don't care with Van der Beek coming in, we're going to get even more penalties. So good luck. Van der Beek is I love it.
Just going to run these questions. Kenny, would you ever believe that 2004 Arsenal never win the league again? How would you feel? Or how would you feel?
Well, I'll tell you something. Well, Sola, I'll tell you one thing. In 2004, when we went unbeaten, I thought that we were going to be doing this every year because the team we had, that team should have gone on to probably won at least the Champions League, probably in that season. But I think where we went wrong is we changed it a bit because we tried to accommodate Cesc Fabregas in the team, and we stopped doing the Arsenal values and we started being like Barcelona, tiki-taka football. And I think what's happened is that we did the tiki-taka without the work rate, the pressing. So teams like Chelsea under Mourinho and Man United, where they had these big midfielders, in those sort of games, we were getting hammered because of the way we were playing. We weren't trying to match Chelsea. And what teams were doing was kicking us to the pipe. What's that?
Do you think you broke that team up too early?
100% he did. But when you've got to play like Cesc Fabregas, you've got to fit him in that team. And you got because he's a generational talent, you've got to build a team around him. But the trouble is that it was well intentioned, but teams, were beginning to overpower us. Like teams like the Blackburns, like the Newcastles, teams like Bolton under Sam Allardyce, they had a formula when they played Arsenal. And because we struggled to get past that formula, that hampered us towards winning the league, and we became a top 4 side instead of challenging.
Yeah. Another question. Another comment. Waiting to be confirmed apparently from ESPN today that Oba has signed a £250,000 a week contract. Awaiting official confirmation and announcement of this deal.
You can't
I mean,
trust
I think that's
ESPN.
pretty much what we know already.
I think he's wasting his career. Aubameyang.
What? Explain.
I just think the midfield he's got around him, he's not won any Premiership titles. It's almost like an RVP, Robbie Van Persie situation, where he's not won any Premiership, and he has to take that. He has to take that big step.
The thing is, Adam, there's a lot of Arsenal fans who secretly admit that we're lucky to have him because a player of his talent and his age should be at a club that actually can win titles. And you can't rule out playing for like a Man United or Chelsea. You can't rule it out.
Honestly, if he left and he said that I want to go to win this and that, right? I want to have an issue. I wouldn't be having a meltdown about it, right? Because talent should be getting titles, should be getting trophies. So the fact that he has decided he wants to start the club, I mean, yeah.
Hey, can I ask Wayne a question?
Yeah.
Which do you aware that Aubameyang was trying to force? There's rumours that Aubameyang was trying to force a move to Chelsea in the January window, and my question to you is: would you take him with a heartbeat?
At that time, yeah, I would. But now I think we've solved that problem. Like we don't need him. Personally, I do like him. Don't get me wrong. He's like one of the best signings you've ever made. And with Lacazette, I don't know because I do think Lacazette is a good striker, but obviously I'll put Aubameyang over Lacazette. But it's world class. Like he did it at Dortmund. Yeah.
Like the fact that he is matched the Golden Boot this season, got the Golden Boot last season. The fact he's done that in a club that finished 8th, like we were in relegation form, right? You were, right?
Let's be honest, you were never going to get relegated.
Yeah, but we were in that time, right? It didn't look like we said.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I know you, but I'll go on. Sorry.
What I was saying is that we looked like at that point in that calendar where we couldn't look where we were going to get a win from. Right? We were that poor. And the fact he's managed to do that and still managed to get one behind Jamie Vardy.
Yeah,
one.
Any penalty that he decided to give up to any other person. So,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So the fact he's done that in a team that's not champion. Aguero, you expect that from Aguero with the amount of supply he gets from Man City. Right, he's got De Bruyne, he's got Fernandinho. But what's the Aubameyang got?
Yeah, something I want to talk about is about people sometimes saying that big clubs will get relegated. Like I heard back in November, I heard people saying Man United could get relegated. We're not going to get relegated. The quality in our squad, like we can't. Like Arsenal can't get relegated. Any of the top 6, even how like Arsenal, like the original top 6, can't get relegated. It's just not possible
nowadays.
Leeds go to go 3. went from the Champions League semi-finals to being relegated next season.
Yeah, but I know, but like the quality we like the squad has
They
got-
should have been nowhere near.
So, guys, can I just interrupt? I've got to go because I've got my wife in me here because she's, like I said, she's over the internet. Sorry about it.
I would say, Kenny, I'm doing a watch along the Arsenal game.
Yeah, because I'm going to watch it, but I don't know about the quality of my internet, so I'll probably just watch it anyway. Thanks for the offer anyway, mate.
What I'll do is I'll send you a link anyway, and if it's good enough, then
yeah. Because I think the problem I've got is just the Wi-Fi's playing up a bit now, and I think what I want to do is get me out. I'm doing it on my phone, so I want to get me a hold of a proper PC so I can actually do some justice. Yeah. That's why sometimes when I do watch-alongs, I think my battery only lasts for about an hour, and it's kind of going down. And plus, it's internet issues. So I was for Jamie. Nice to meet you.
It was good. It was good chat.
Good chat. Adam,
Yep.
you're harsh about what you said about Aubameyang wanting to go to a better club, but who's going to disagree with what he said? Wait, it's nice to meet you, Wayne. And Steve, thanks for having me on. Thanks very much. It's my pleasure. Yeah, I'm very humbled that you asked me to come on. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon, mate. See you. Bye.
Yeah, take care.
Take it.
Well, yeah, we'll carry on for a little bit longer. Just to mention to everyone in the chat, so this week is an important week, in my opinion, because it's Transplant week. So obviously, transplants do so much in terms of giving people who deserve a chance to carry on with their lives, and it's important that everyone donates and recognises that. So
get down there, donate. I would donate, but I can't. Sorry.
Yeah, same with me. I think it's good that you're spreading awareness because I didn't even know much about liver, disease when I, but ever since I joined the channel, I've learned a lot.
Thank you, it means a lot. I mean, the charity's given so much to me, so it's me trying to give something back.
Yeah.
So they also the charity supplies research to make things better.
Get down there and donate. I think it's down there. Is it down there? I don't know.
What?
It's in the link.
Is it down there?
Yeah.
Yeah, get down there. Donate.
£1 will help. Penny, I don't know.
Wait, can I ask, Jamie, why do you keep moving?
I don't know why. I'm a bit. I don't know.
Can you just stay still? Like, I'm getting sick.
Right, I'm still. I'll try and stay still. Probably because I keep trying to do it again. I'm sorry. It's not my fault, okay? It's not my fault.
Question: do you think money is ruined football?
Yes, partially. I think partially it has.
It's not been the same since.
Some players play for the money, some play for the badge. It's just how it works.
A question here. Can I do a watch along for the qualifying? Not this week. If there's a week where Arsenal aren't on, I can.
Well, I'm gonna put my phone up so it don't move about. I was putting my phone in front.
Qualifying watch along this week I can't do because the Arsenal Fulham at the same time. So
that's better.
Always leave waiting.
I just got juice in my. Oh Jesus!
I don't think how Jesus relates to you getting.
Well, all channels got somewhere, right? Even AFTV, the way they are now, they all started.
What do you guys think the relegation free is going to be? I think it will be West Brom. I think it will be Fulham, and I think it will be Villa.
I think it will be Fulham, I think West Brom will stay up. I think they'll surprise people. I think they'll stay up.
Yeah, but
I think even though Newcastle have done good business, I still don't think it will be good enough to keep them up. Newcastle are going down. It's their season to go down. They deserve to go down.
I honestly think Steve Bruce is underrated. Right.
I disagree.
Steve Bruce,
He is underrated, but
everyone wrote him off.
I know he eats kebabs, but
yeah,
that doesn't
yeah,
change
but
anything.
the first thing, when he went to Newcastle, everyone was like, "Oh, that's it, Newcastle getting relegated."
Yeah, I heard that.
Right, and like,
Give him a chance.
yeah, for me, is for Newcastle standards, very underrated. Obviously, he's not the top level manager. Stephen, your thoughts on Troops leaving AFTV?
Oh, so sad.
Yeah, well,
He'll do it his own thing.
I
But,
don't think
yeah.
AFTV will be
Why would you want to join Bustle Sports? Are they big? Like, are they bigger than AFTV?
Even then,
It's pretty because of his children.
He
Yeah,
did
but-
it for the money. He did it for the money.
He done it for his children, and he done it for the money to support his children.
well, that's the thing. Like,
You would probably do, like everyone would probably.
I've met Troops, right? And I don't know him, but I've met him, right? And he's not that. To me, he doesn't justify that person that would go there because I want the money. I want it. So he's doing it for my money because I want to support my kids. I love my kids.
Yeah,
Right.
100%.
I don't blame him, actually. I don't blame him.
Look, to me,
Not moving to China.
look at
Football.
Troops has been on there since what, 2016, something like that. It was one of his first videos, 2015-16. Time
Yeah,
moves on.
5 years ago.
Time moves on.
Back again.
Yeah, maybe he will be back again at some point. So, but like I said, time moves on. I wish him well whatever he's done.
At least Ty hasn't left yet. Fingers crossed.
Stephen, I just want to ask you a question, Stephen.
Go on.
What made you think of supporting Arsenal instead of every team there is, you know?
Well, when I was born, I was getting T-shirts in hospital, but Arsenal shirts before I knew about it, because my dad was an Arsenal fan. My uncle was an Arsenal fan. One of my cousins is. Right, so my mum was an Arsenal fan. So
Everyone.
it was sort of in the
Runs
family.
through the family.
Yeah, in a sense. But yeah, I mean, and obviously when I started watching Arsenal, we were starting with the Wenger era. So
Yeah, Invincibles, man.
In my opinion, for me, I didn't actually get the choice. I just chose them. Like I chose them. I had a choice, but I didn't really. There wasn't an actual reason why I picked them. Like there weren't actually. I wasn't like my mum supports Man United or someone supports Man United. I just liked the club itself. And also I was 4 when I started supporting United, so I didn't know about how good they were. Like I didn't really know about all that. I heard them when I was collecting match tax. I knew pretty much because I collected match tax was the only reason, and I love the colour red. I don't know. It's random.
Not the colour of Liverpool.
Plus I did like the colour red, right? I used to watch F1 where Schumacher was dominant. I used to get Schumacher.
You're a bit quiet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
His
for
mic
me, that I was born in Sidcup in Kent, which is right next to Woolwich. So obviously that's where Arsenal was formed. So it's technically also my local club, as well as my family supporting it.
My local club's Charlton Athletic, but I don't really want to support Charlton Athletic.
My local club's Brentford.
I've been to the Valley, but it's not bad stadium.
When I was born in New Cross, so I was probably like I didn't really know like what team was like close to New Cross, to be honest.
Yeah.
They need to
I think
improve
West Ham will
that.
struggle.
I was an Arsenal fan until I was 5. Now I'm a Tottenham fan.
Yes.
Oh my god, that is mad. How I don't with me, yeah, I can't ever change my club. Like you can't change your club when you support them. You can't change. Like you won't. Like, you can't. It's impossible to love the club. Like until you're like maybe when you're like 9, between 1 and 9, maybe you can change. But
Yeah, but the thing is that until you're 5, you don't actually remember.
yeah, I can't hear you. Oh no.
You don't remember who you support or who you are. Yeah. I mean, I don't remember my first 2 transplants because I was 14 months old and 17 months old. So yeah, no, for me, if you're 5 years old and you said, "Oh no, I support this team," then everyone said you supported that team. I said, well, I didn't know. So, but if you're like 30 odd and you went from Arsenal to Tottenham, whoa, I won't mention that on any sort of channel.
I imagine I can't. The only thing I'm just. Oh, I'm not even gonna say. Wait, what say?
Right. So, obviously, you mentioned earlier about pictures. Wayne.
Yeah.
I can't get this.
Who have Chelsea got in their first game, and how do you think it's going to go?
So we got Brighton on Monday.
1-1 draw.
No chance. They're gonna win 4-0, in my opinion.
Wait. Is it home or away first?
I think it's away. Yeah, it's at the Amex.
What do you think?
I think that'll be a comfortable 2-0 win. Yeah, it is away. Just to confirm, yeah.
From what I saw
Yeah,
of the pre-season match against, when Chelsea were versus Brighton, I just saw like sideways passing in the midfield area.
It was a
Like they
penalty,
weren't
wasn't
getting it to the front men, like the target men. Like thing, Werner was isolated on the midfield, but he still scored the goal because that's what he does. He just
Werner
turns
is one
up
of
the
the best
game.
strikers in the world.
I think also after the transfer window they've had, it's important that Lampard and Chelsea get off to a good start. So
I
they just want to go there.
I think with Liverpool, I think they'll lose their first 2 games, or lose because I think they'll lose to Leeds, and I think they'll lose to Chelsea, or I think they might draw. That's the thing. I think they'll get. I think they'll lose their first 2 games, or draw one and lose one. In my opinion, I don't know why.
What about the
But
third game?
they'll lose to Leeds.
What about the third game?
No, I think they'll beat them.
Oh, thank you.
Well, they will. Like they can't. Like anything can happen. I'm not even going to say anything can happen.
Look, I mean, obviously, our test is the third game, and it's not going to be the same Liverpool of the Community Shield or even last season at the Emirates. But
No, beach, like people like to say, but
I think it'll be a lot tighter game than it was even when we last played them last season, which was even a tight game then. We didn't actually play badly in that game, if I can remember. So we just made a couple of mistakes.
5-1 to Liverpool.
What?
I think Arsenal just play defensive football
Pardon?
against the big teams. I think Arsenal just play defensive football against the big teams.
He's
just like
playing.
Everyone
At
does.
the minute.
We've done that.
But at the minute we're having to play defensive football because of the squad we've got.
Yeah, same with Man United. Yeah, we had to play in like the early before Bruno came in against the big team. We still do it now. We still do against like the top 4, top 6. We do soak up pressure and hit on the break. Like that is what we do against the big sides. Don't know why we do it, because now we have the squads to compete against the big sides. So I don't know why we're still doing it, but it's the thing we do. We've done it against Chelsea. We just done a back 5 for some reason. I hate back 5s. Don't know why. Like a back 3 maybe, but like
I'd rather just go at a team just go at a
Yeah.
team.
Yeah,
And-
but the problem is that we've done that in the past and we've got absolutely battered.
Yeah,
Right?
but
It's
that's
worth a
the
try.
process of learning. That's
Yeah,
the
but
process of
it's
learning.
all worth the try. But in the end, right, we've proven against Man City and against Liverpool. But yeah, all right,
I
it's
just
not
think when you play,
fancy. It's not. It's not. Look, people say like, look. In the end, we played absolutely defensive, dire football before Wenger came in with George Graham. Yet we won trophies. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you play as long as what you get at the end. If you get a trophy, you're not going to be worried about it.
yeah, I agree with you, but I just like seeing football, the total
course.
football.
Of course, but sometimes
Yes.
you've got to sort of take stock of the squad you've got compared to the
Exactly.
team that you're playing
I
against.
agree.
Wayne, just your thoughts. A comment here saying Chelsea have to win something this year, otherwise Lampard is a goner.
Fair enough.
Yeah, they have to.
That's a bold statement.
No,
I
it
What
isn't.
would you
It's a
think?
true statement.
What would you think,
It's-
and what would
it's-
your expectations be?
not
Lampard's
saying-
getting backed by the. Can you let me talk, mate?
Yeah, Gemma, let me-
Lampard's getting backed by the board. Marina Granovskaya, she's investing in players. We're getting Havertz. Like we're getting Sarr. I swear Arsenal were linked with Sarr before. We got him on a free. Thiago Silva on a free. Ben Chilwell, Werner Ziyech, and Mendy. Hopefully when he comes, like I expect us to win something, but whether if we're gonna like finish in the top 3 or even win an FA Cup or a League Cup or win the Champions League, but you never know.
Yeah, just make sure in the FA. Just make sure if you're going to win the FA Cup, don't play Arsenal.
Yeah, that is true though, because we always lose against you. But we'll see. I mean, if he is a goner, then he's gonna replace him. Like, I don't want to
Sorry
go
for
back to
talking over
the.
you, by the way.
Have you
So-
watched the
sorry.
Spurs document? Why would I want to watch the Spurs documentary?
I actually I
Gives
watched
you an
that.
insight in football.
It's fun because that
It's good
I
to
don't
watch.
care. I don't care. I'd rather go to my arm infusion.
I'd watch a Liverpool documentary as much as I hate them.
I mean, the
It's
reason why I
just
watch
nice.
it is to see how Jose is as how his tactics are like, but you don't see it,
There's
and
still cameras.
obviously,
Yeah, but you also
So-
don't see the fact that they've asked the government for money for using their stadium.
and he said that Tottenham side is better than the Man United side he had.
He needs to F off.
Oh, the Mourinho just does it to anyone. Just he goes to anyone to wind anyone up.
He just done it because he knew the cameras were there and he wanted to
Yeah.
piss off United fans.
Mourinho is just basically a Portuguese bloke who got famous overdoing boring tactics. That's how he became a manager.
But before that he used to do actual good tactics. If you watched him before he went to
Before
Real
that,
Madrid, he was a brilliant
he
manager.
could suss you out.
Like the
Right.
second.
But since I mean, now he's the one that's been sussed out because football's moved on.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
Everything's moved on from that time, and yeah, in some cases you can still play it the same, but in most times now you can't.
I
But
feel
yeah,
bad.
in terms of Arsenal's game, I think that it's good. It's important we get off to a good start. Whether our new signings play is debatable. I would like to see Willian start. Saliba, not so sure if he'll come straight in or not. Gabriel, I'd like to see start as well. But for me, I would say 3-1. I think it'll be tight. Yeah, I think it'll be tight. but we'll end up getting a second and a third towards the end.
Wait, is that away or home?
Away at Craven Cottage.
Oh,
Fulham's got edge.
And actually, you'd say with Fulham, I'd actually think when I watched the playoff final, I did say that Fulham, if they don't invest, will get relegated. Right?
They
They were
good
poor.
enough to Premier League.
Right? They were poor in that game, and
I mean, sorry to cut you off. They have good owners though. Like they're quite rich. The guy owns. I don't know if you watch wrestling, but he owns AEW, and they're like one of the biggest up and coming wrestling companies out there. But it's like with Stan Kroenke, he owns LA Rams. He doesn't back Arsenal as he should do, but obviously, if the guy that owns Fulham backs Fulham, then they could be staying in the Prem, but it doesn't seem like it.
yeah, I think everyone should take note of what Norwich did last season. They didn't spend any money, and they ended up getting relegated.
They took the
Get relegated.
But yeah, for me, Fulham will get relegated. Villa will struggle to stay up.
Oh yeah,
I
Tony
think
Khan is his name.
I feel really bad for Grealish. Really bad. He should be going to a top 6 club. Arsenal should take Grealish. He would be
Grealish is
brilliant.
bang average, if I'm being honest. He's
Bang
so
average.
underrated.
Oh my! Are you being serious? He got
because he's got an English
he's what-
passport, you know.
no. It's a big myth. No, the thing is, yeah, people say English players are overrated. They're not. For some reason, there's been people saying like English players are overrated. I don't think that. With Maguire, people say, I
We
can't,
won a
I
World
can't
Cup in how long, man?
But the thing is with Grealish, in a terrible Aston Villa side, hands down, without Grealish, they would have got relegated. Like, if say they put a cam in, like, even like a decent cam, without Grealish, they wouldn't have stayed up. Like, they wouldn't have.
yeah. I mean, for me,
I can't
with
believe
Grealish is that
I can't believe it.
Grealish needs to go to a top side to prove whether he is top class or not. For me,
Yeah,
No,
I
he's
think no,
he-
Jamie. As long as you're in a side like Aston Villa, right, there are players that stand out in those sort of sides, but when they go to a top club, they don't perform. They're not the same. So
Yes,
he
sir.
needs to prove that he's at that sort of level by going to a top club.
I actually think doing it at a smaller club is actually proving more because you're helping. It's like Aubameyang with Arsenal. Arsenal is a small club, but he's keeping. No, I'm joking.
Excuse me.
That was a joke. Don't kill me.
But yeah,
You're
I
not
mean,
lying. Arsenal club.
Thank you.
excuse me.
The days of Highbury are long gone.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. In the Emirates, he haven't won anything except Europa Leagues. Actually, no. Yeah.
Wait,
Like, what,
They
FA
haven't.
Cup?
FA Cup.
They don't win Europa
FA
Leagues.
Cup.
Shield,
Yeah, they
that's
win
it.
the FAs. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, I don't. Hang on. The FA Cup, right? Whether you're an Arsenal fan, Chelsea fan, or whatever, right? The FA Cup has been there before even the league was started.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but
It's the best club cup competition.
It's very good looking. The FA Cup.
Right. Yes, the Champions League is overtaken in terms of the money and standard,
yeah.
but right, the FA Cup, right,
It's
was
the
always
oldest
the highlight
competition in the
when I was
world.
when I was growing up. It's also the best.
But it's not any more. Times have changed.
No.
I think
You
if they
can't-
get you Champions League
It's still
qualification.
classed as one of the greatest trophies out there because
You're saying
any
League Cup,
English club could enter. You're thinking like down below, let's say, for example, my town I used to play for, Bishop Stortford. They were in the first round of the FA Cup like 5 years ago. They played Northampton, and that was televised on ITV.
Yeah.
And so that they obviously didn't win that game, but they got a lot of money and they got a lot of media on it because like it was with like Sutton United when they played Arsenal, and you saw that goalkeeper munching that guy. They're getting a lot of like media attention because obviously they're not even. I don't think they're still in. They're in the Vanarama Premier League.
That's the thing. It gives
Yeah.
it gives amount of revenue these clubs get for doing well in the FA Cup. Like, is brilliant. It really does help. And but yeah, like I said, what was I going to say? I completely forgot. But yeah, Man United, your game against Palace. Honest thoughts and predictions. Start with you, Adam. Start with Adam.
I think you cannot. You know, have Palace signed anyone? What are the signings?
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
they've signed. Wait, is it Palace? Yeah, they signed AQ. I don't even know his name. The guy used
Yeah.
What position does he play?
He's
Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah, but honestly, how do you see it going?
I see it going. It could either be one-sided or it could be a very tight game where we might just nick it because we have a better quality in our side. But it's just these are the games that we should be winning, and if we don't win them, then it's concern. It's concern because these are easy teams. In United's, philosophy, these are easy teams. We should be rolling them 3 or 4 now.
Yeah. Jamie, your thoughts?
I've got a weird feeling about this game. I think we'll win because our attacking threat can kill any team off. Like, if we didn't, this attack so like Martial, Rashford, and Greenwood and Sancho. It depends if we have Sancho. So if we sign Sancho before then, it'll be a completely one-sided game. I think we'll win 3-0 with Sancho. But if we don't have Sancho, I can see it going either way. To be honest, I think it'll be 3-2 to Manchester United, but it'll be close.
Yeah. The only thing I've got probably with that is that I'd hate to see that much pressure on Sancho, right? Especially that you've got so much more talent in your side. You've got Van der Beek now. You've got Pogba. You've got Martial, right? I think Sancho is not going to be the be all and end. Shouldn't be the be all and end all because he's still very young.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so many times where they've done that, especially to English players, and it's ruined them.
Stephen, I've got a question.
Go on.
Do you think, some Arsenal fans, I'm not saying you, make out like the FA Cup's like one of the most prestigious trophy just because they win it the most? Do you think that?
No, the only reason I still say that is because I grew up like where it used to be. You watch it first thing in the morning. Is he there?
It seems that he's frozen.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd say it's not because of that. It's because I've always grown up as like of being taught that the FA Cup
is the greatest.
was the cup competition we all watched. I used to watch the cup final, even if Arsenal weren't in the cup final, right? Because it was cup final Saturday. So it's for me. The reason I hold it in such high regard, not because we've won it so many times, right? Because if that was the case, I'd say it's higher than the Champions League.
Yeah.
Right. But hang on, we've got someone. Hello, Premier League PL Scout. How are you?
I'm the same guy.
This is Adam apparently.
Oh, Adam. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was saying I don't hold it in high regard because we've won it. It's because it always used to be the thing we watched on the cup final on the Saturday.
The FA Cup.
Yeah.
I just think if the FA Cup had the Champions League qualification, it'd be a much better, trophy. And it would be very good if it had a Champions League qualification. But I
Or
don't
group
think
stage.
I don't think if it had a
Yeah,
I don't think it would be the same.
no, I think that you shouldn't have to go in. I don't like the fact you win the FA Cup, you go into Europa League. For me, I feel that you should just get to. Because for me, I would love to have won the FA Cup, but not be in Europa League next season. Because it'd be more beneficial for us, to be honest.
Yeah, but you get more money. You get more money.
Yeah, but I think that the way we were and the way we want to rebuild, it would have been probably done us good. I mean, look at Chelsea, like when they took a year out of Europe. All right, they went on and win the title, but like they improved so much.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Romano just tweeted, "Here we go, Jadon Sancho."
What's that?
Romano just tweeted, "Here we go."
Fabrizio.
Yeah, well, wait. Like I said, wait until it's confirmed.
Yeah.
It
I
actually
know it's Romano, but wait until it's confirmed. Just guess cool.
he's basically signed. He's a tier 1 journalist. He's just signed for
Guess
us.
makes it cool, Stephen, for your club. No, it wasn't. No, look, with the whole staff thing
Lads,
is
I
that.
was just joking about Sancho. Romano hasn't tweeted anything.
Yeah, okay. Oh, all right. Look, I mean, obviously the sacking of staff and then spending so much on a player, is going to raise concerns. I wasn't too happy about it. If it's for positions that aren't viable at the minute, I could see why. But again, we should be paying the money just to cover them until things get back normal.
Why did you sack 55 members of staff? It was a bit out of order.
Well, it
Got
depends
families to
because
feed.
if you've got, yeah, I know that, but if you've got also, if you've got, say, a business running, and someone's position is not viable anymore, which is looking after, in their case, looking after probably the corporates when they know no one's going to be at the grounds at the minute. You could say, yeah, your job's gone, and if your job comes back in and we need you back, here it is. But then with our owner, we should be just paying it anyway, because it costs less than what 2 million.
Yeah.
But then if that's the case, we've had that problem, and it's been made public, then anyone else doing the same thing, like with what I mentioned about Ronaldo at Tottenham, that should be also highlighted as well. Same as if Chelsea done something wrong, that should be highlighted. Right? You should be calling out everything, not just on one particular club.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Do you think Arsenal will sign any more players in the
For
transfer?
me, I think they have to. They have to.
Are they signing Partey?
Well, the last stream last week, I mentioned that we've just put a bid in for Awar and Partey.
Rejected.
I think it's been rejected. But we'll have to again have to wait and see. And I know Arsenal will leave it to the last minute, right? If we do want anyone.
I think Arsenal are becoming like players just see Arsenal and then they just don't want to come to the club as much as they used to. Like the reputation of the club's starting to fade away.
Yeah. Comment here. Respect your cause, Stephen. We'll always respect you for that and your channel. But I won't be watching anymore.
Getting put on a timeout.
getting put on a timeout. Making a general point. I don't know why. Shouldn't be. If you are, I don't know why.
Do you have any moderators or something?
Yeah, but he hasn't
They
made
could
any
have probably.
comment.
They could have.
He hasn't made any comment that's I mean, you're a moderator, aren't you, Wayne? Wayne?
I think
Wayne.
it's him.
Wayne?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're a moderator.
yeah.
This guy's been put on timeout, Pat, for making a general point. I don't know why.
Because I'm not even in the chat, so I don't even know if the other guys are in.
Well, I hope not, because he's been. I don't see what problem he hasn't had. I haven't had a problem with him at all. So, but yeah, I don't know. I hope not, but there you go. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for now because I'm getting tired. I've got my fusion in the morning, so I'll go get some rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys for you coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Adam, is there anything else you want to say?
Just wish the good luck to you, mate. I hope you're doing all right health wise. And yeah, thanks for having me on the show.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I think at the minute for me it's just day by day. So I'm just playing a waiting game in a minute. But yeah, Wayne, anything else you want to say?
No, pleasure as always. Looking forward for the season to start. Hopefully, would win, and hopefully, we're in the top half of the table before Christmas, maybe. So you never know.
When is the race? The preview I'll do the watch along on Sunday.
Hey, guys.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That race really wound me up because they shouldn't have to close the pit lane, right? Because the car was parked where the barriers were open to put the car behind the barriers. But no, they decided to push it to the pit lane and put marshals at risk. So yeah, but so that's what really wound me up.
Wrong for ignoring.
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that he was in the wrong. Yeah, he's obviously in the wrong. But right, they shouldn't have had to put marshals at risk, right? When there was an easier way of putting the car out of the way.
But
That's what really.
Who was it that got pushed?
What?
Who was it that got pushed that crashed?
It was Magnussen who pulled over, right, by the barriers. He saw where the opening was, and that's what made them push them all to the pit lane and make them miss and made them like do the pit stop when they should have done. And then Leclerc had his accident. So, but yeah, but like I said, the preview I just quickly go through before the actual race start. So the live watch along will be on Sunday at quarter to 2 on Sunday. So join me for that. The football, Arsenal v Fulham. That'll be on Saturday, 12:30, I believe. Yes. No, the kickoff's 12:30. Watch along starts at 12. So, yeah. If you're free to join us, I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
Right, you free for that?
I would have to check what I'm doing on that. Was it Saturday?
Saturday at 12.
Yeah. Well, I'll see if I'm free. I'll let you know because it's a weekend. I might decide to do something mad. I might want to like go to Scotland, maybe, but I'm not in this condition or not in this pandemic.
Yeah. Just in this. Let us know, and I'll send you the link.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be rooting for Fulham though.
Pardon?
Yeah, I'll be
I'll be rooting for Fulham though.
Yeah. I know you will. That's what will make it fun.
What, seeing you lose?
I want to see AFTV rage about it. That's the best thing. Seeing
Yeah.
AFTV get angry.
I've always had times when we have times where we've lost. I was like really wanted to go in hard, but every time I get on in the camera, I don't. I sort of just be more calm.
It's a cat.
I don't know, what is it? It's a cat. Yeah.
It's a cat.
Do you have it? No, I'm currently too ill, class too ill to work at the minute. Even to the point I can't do uni at the minute. Which is my I don't really want to talk about it because it breaks my heart the fact I can't go to uni and finish what I want to do. But yeah, so like I said, Saturdays we've got that. I'll be doing a Q&A on Friday for Transplant Week.
Yeah.
So if you're free, you're more than welcome to join me. And,
I'll let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, and ask us anything. Anyone in the chat that's free, right? Come on and ask any questions about donation, liver disease, Transplant Week, anything. Just a quick Q&A. But until then, right, thanks guys for being on. And I will be back, on Friday.
Yeah.
Right, so take care.
Take care, people. See ya.